What's up, guys? So today's second installment of Soulnet Hawaii. Once again, disclaimer: I am not a master at this. I am only sharing what I have learned and what has been working for me. Any basic information could probably take someone a long way. So let this all be a learning experience for any of us because we all can learn from each other, etc., etc. Okay. So I won't talk too much. We'll just get straight into it. Today we are learning to do pumanas, aka your wideners. These are necessary for a round net, a throw net. Basically, um, it makes I. It's hard to explain the science behind it, but it's a necessary thing. So, like I said, we won't talk too much. We'll get into it. All right. So, let's talk about this for a little bit first. Again, right, your eye is a diamond. This is the row I'm on right now. Your typical eye would come up, right, and collect this guy here, and this where I'd be sewing my next eye. But we are now doing a pumana. So instead of going there, okay, see, I went here, then here, and then I would go here, but I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna skip, not skip, but I'm gonna go up between the two eyes right here in this middle. If you look here good, there is my widener right here. This is a Pumana. Sorry, I can't. I'm trying to get this better on film, but see it here. Okay, so directly below it is where my Pumana would be again. So let me tie this. I'll try to get this on film best I can. It's a little tricky because I got the camera in my face here. Let me get this down. Okay, so I'm not on it just yet. I gotta do one more eye. Damn it, my line is out of. Hang on, get this tightened up here. Okay. Okay, that'd be my eye. Now again, instead of going and picking the next guy up, right? Instead of picking up your next eye, you're gonna go up between it. Same thing, gauge it, pinch it. Now, because you have no knot here, remember in the last video I talked about having a knot so it doesn't slip below the V? Well, you don't have a V. So now I'm gonna go, instead of going around the one, I can't because there is nothing there to hold it. I'm gonna go around the two, then I'm gonna do my typical knot. My typical, okay? Or I know others sew it this way too, do their knots this way, but that's mine. That's not mine, but that's the way I do it also. No slipping. Okay, so here we are again. I'm gonna show it again. Instead of picking up the next eye, I go up between. Okay, instead of the next eye, I go up between. Gauge it. I go around the two to create a knot. So that now I can do my half hitch here between the two as I do mine knots. Lock that, and then I go around the two. Sheet bend. Lock that. Okay? Just like that. Then I would continue on. Oh, let me talk about this for a little bit. Oh, this eye is all fucked up, no wonder. Okay, but basically what's happening here is this Pumana. Oh, sorry, my phone is dying. Shit. Okay, this Pumana, it would have been one. It would have been one eye like this, right? but because I tied up between, now I've created two. This knot would go here, right? Let me finish this so you can see it. Okay. Here. See, so instead of a V, you made a W. And if you look, it just hangs. Not everyone does this style. Some people, they'll lock this on. Fuck, this knot is fucked up right here. Oh well, shouldn't slip. They'll lock it here, some people, or as you some will have it like this floating. I don't know if there's a big huge difference on that or what, but basically that's all you did right here. Instead of one eye, because it would have went here to here, went here to here to here to here, right? So we created two eyes instead of one. Okay. I'm gonna get my iPad and I'm gonna draw on the iPad to kind of break it down so you can see a little easier versus this clear line. All right, guys. So I'll use two different colors so we can get this, you know. So basically, this is our net, right? So working on the next row, we would be tying here, come down, come here, right? Is our typical, our regular eyes. Well, we're gonna break this down. Pumana eye, okay? So whatever your pattern is, say if you're doing every other, you'd go here, here. Then this would be a Pumana. So now instead of going here to here, I'm gonna go here. Okay, so it go down around the gauge, up, loop around, knot. Down around the gauge, up, knot. Okay. Now we're doing every other, right? So again, that was one. That was Pumana. Do a regular. Then we're gonna Pumana again. Down around the gauge, up, around, knot. Down around the gauge, up, knot. And you'd continue on like this. The only thing you would change is your pattern. And this varies, okay? So this was, I would call it like tying two eyes, so two knots, if you count by knots, right? So I did my Pumana here. Pumana, tie two knots, Pumana, tie two knots, Pumana, tie two knots, Pumana. And that would repeat all the way back around the net. And say maybe your next, or say if you were, whatever row you're working on, okay? Maybe you're skipping more. Okay. This would be Pumana, 1, 2, 3. Pumana, 1, 2, 3. It all depends what you're doing on your pad. What is your format, etc. But basically, that to show you in like an easier illustration, that's pretty much how you tying a Pumana. Okay. All right, guys. So there you go. My second video for Sonnet Hawaii. I hope this helps somebody, because if I can help at least one person out there, then I'm grateful for that because, like I said, you know, I'm not a master at this, but anything that I learned and that I figured out and understood, you know, if my brain could work good enough to learn it, then at least I could try to help share that with somebody, especially showing it on illustration with my iPad. I think that helps a lot because now you can kind of visually see it a lot easier, especially for people that need to see it happening, need to see that visual to catch on to things, because I'm kind of like that. Even if somebody tells me it, I'm like, what? But I'm kind of like that person where I can look at something and figure out what's happening. Then I'll sit there and figure it out, experiment with it. Yeah. So like anything, you're gonna have to experiment in this. Like I said, with your knots, try your knots different ways. Like I said, people do the 2, 1, 2, whatever it may be. If it works for you, like how I've been doing them, around the 1 and then the 2 and then lock, that's it. Great for you if it'll work that way. It's not a foolproof way either, okay? So going back to my first video, the knots, the tying the knots, it's not a foolproof way because you can still mess up those knots. So you have to be mindful of what's happening. And if you do make a mistake, you can't be afraid to go back and fix that knot, or cut out that eye and fix that eye, okay? And I'll do that in another video. Basically what I'll do is go backwards, not backwards so much, but let's not get into starting a net just yet. We're still working on tying knots, understanding how they work, whatever, etc. If there's a mistake, how do we fix it, so on and so forth. So we're keeping the basics for now. Just keep practicing it. So your fingers should be getting fucking boss up, okay? Because I know for me, the first time I started sewing my first original net a couple years ago, my fingers were all bust up. The inside of your finger from pulling like this, the line right there, rub, is gonna get all calloused. Your fingertips should be sore from pinching and holding the line. That's a nice side when you're sewing with lighter line, because smaller knots, etc., it'll be easier on your fingers. But the more you do, the better you get at it. It's just like going out there and walking, right? The more you walk, the more you throw net, the stronger your legs get, the more used you get, the stamina, everything gets built up. So same thing with sewing net. Your fingers will get there. Again, if you have any questions, don't be afraid. Just drop a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If there is something specific you want me to try and focus on, like maybe you want me to show in depth again a little more on how I tie my knot, or even maybe just experiment with other ways of tying a knot, I'm not afraid to do so. I'm an open book. I'm not afraid to show people that I do mess up, because I am human. I will mess up. I forever will do mess, you know what I mean? I'll mess up an eye, whatever, etc. The thing, like I said, is I'm not afraid to go backwards. And that I'm working on right now, man, I had like 2 rows done, and I was using a colored line and it just was not working. It kept slipping. I cut those whole 2 rows out. Yeah, I went backwards. So I'm not afraid to understand that I'm gonna mess up, and I'm not afraid to fix it. That's how you learn. You have to mess up and go back and fix it, to figure out what you did wrong and learn from it and do it better the next time. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. I hope this helps somebody out there. Don't be afraid. Drop a comment, or even if you want to message me directly, you don't want to put your comment out there publicly, you can hit me up, 808-292-2482. Shoot me a text message or whatever. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. Search Tattoo Kalel, you'll find me. Alright guys, shoots, have a good day.